I'm joined by the wonderful Sarah Smallwood from May Green Marketing. Hello, Sarah. How are you today?
Hi, Heather. Very well. Thank you very much.
Cool. So Sarah, introduce your agency to us. What do you do?
I'm Sarah Smallwood and my agency is May Green Marketing. We're based in the Northeast. We're a fully serviced marketing company, which means we do everything. Instead of specialising in one particular area, we're able to offer customers a one point of contact for all of their digital marketing.
Fantastic. So Sarah, we've been working together for at least 12 weeks. You went to the agency Alchemy program that we run, and basically that program is designed for existing kind of agencies, as the name would agency Alchemy, and also for very larger companies that want to really sort of break through kind of income levels and grow. So it's a high growth business program, and so you're coming to the end of that program now. You're a very successful kind of agency yourself. But you wanted more, which is great, because I always say, what does somebody who's earning 500,000 want? Well, they want 1 million. And what does 1 million want? They want 5 million. So you're a very, very successful agency. And for you, it was all about taking this business up a level and you yourself kind of up a couple of levels. Yeah?
Definitely. We're always wanting to do training, and I always like to kind of grow my skills, but this was a great opportunity to work with a fellow female entrepreneur as well and really kind of power the business up.
Yeah, fantastic. So tell us about the program. Tell us all about your experiences. What were the kind of the highlights of the 12 weeks for you, and what did you get out of it at the end of the 12 weeks? How have you grown and your business grown in this process?
The programme was fantastic. I cannot sing its praises enough. Aside from the support from obviously you, Heather, you have the regular question and answer sessions. So you're in a forum with fellow female entrepreneurs as well. So you're not sort of made to feel stupid for asking a question that you might feel is a bit silly, because everyone says, yes, I wanted to know the answer to that as well. So there's a lot of support from you and everyone else that's in the programme. Mm-hmm. I feel like I got such an awful lot out of it. It's difficult to pick any one because there are so many. I would say that one of the main areas is clarity. It gives you a great opportunity to get clarity on where you are now, where you want to be. It gives you an opportunity to kind of step out of the business a little bit and look at it from a higher level view. What areas are working, what areas need to change, because you're so busy doing the day-to-day stuff. Sometimes time flies, years can pass, and you're still sort of on that treadmill. So it's a really nice opportunity to work on your business.
Wonderful. So you did the clarity exercise. Do you see, because clarity, people band around the word clarity. It's a little bit like, coaching, or kind of, it's one of those words that people band around. But clarity, it never ceases to amaze me that people come into the program and they're like, yeah, clarity, whatever. And then I get like an email or a phone call and it's like, oh, Heather, I'm really stuck on this. And it's reassuring in a way to understand that there is such lack of clarity in businesses and agencies, and that's part of a restriction to growth, because as you found, is once you get very clear on the direction of your agency, the direction that you want to go personally and develop, from that point of view, it's that clarity which is the foundation stone that everything else is kind of built upon. Yeah.
Definitely, I would 100% agree with that. Yeah. I'm a massive fan of lists, and I think going through the program as well, not just the clarity section, it was like, I must do this, and it was a great checklist to have. It gives you that focus of, this is where you want to be and what do you need to do to get there. It's fantastic.
Because the program's not for the faint-hearted. We're not going to sort of dress this up and make it all unicorns and roses. I mean, the fact is that you have to show up, you have to do the work, you've got to be focused. You're going to have wobbles, but the team is there kind of to support you moving forwards and upwards. And, the grit and determination that you showed, Sarah, was incredible. So thank you for kind of showing up in the program, playing full out, because that was important to actually get you through the program and out the other side, basically. So for you, so we did the clarity exercise, and then we went into the powerful persona marketing methods, the actual persona workshops, which is the real kind of, that's where the real magic takes place. So tell me about the persona workshops.
I think I hate the phrase light bulb moment, but I definitely had one of those when you ask the question, if your brand walked through the door and it was a person, and this is the persona, what would it look like? And I imagine the obvious answer, well, it looks like me because it's my business. And well, actually, no, it doesn't. And when I started to really drill down as to what does my brand look like, it was something else entirely, it was enlightening.
Yeah.
In fact, I asked one of my team that question, and he answered it in such a fantastic way. That is our brand persona now.
Yeah.
But it gives you really good clarity as to who you're targeting, how to target them, what messaging to use, what language you should be using on all of your marketing materials. It's the foundations almost once you've got the persona cracked.
Yeah. And I think this is, this is an interesting thing, the persona work, because we've got another program that runs parallel, doesn't it, to the agency Alchemy program, which is the business Alchemy program, where we're working with kind of smaller businesses, again, female entrepreneurs, but we're getting them for growth. It's up-leveling and growth as well, but at their level. So we're improving and tweaking and kind of, elevating their brands and their businesses. And you saw firsthand in some of the calls that we had, some of these other businesses and the importance for you as an agency moving forwards to understand the psychological aspects of customer targeting and everything to improve your agency so that your customers get the best out of the experience of working with you too. So can you share with us can you remember the workshop we had? Yeah. What happened in that one? Because that was really powerful.
I was very privileged to see that happen, and it was a customer whose website wasn't working correctly, and they were so frustrated. She was clenching her fists and she was really angry. And you went through, the personas. They'd already done the persona workshop, and you were talking to them about the language and how it should look, and literally it just clicked. And she was itching to get off the call so she could go and ring a web developer and say, right, this is how I want it to look. Yeah. And things changed after that for them because they had that moment of clarity after they've done the persona, and it was absolutely fantastic to watch.
Yeah, and I think it's a lesson to anybody who's working with businesses, the fact that there's a temptation to take over somebody's business because they just don't know. To be fair, many business owners have not got that clarity. They don't know how to run their businesses and their agencies. They literally, it's like a wing and a prayer, isn't it? And we've all done it. 22 years as an entrepreneur, and my first business was a big agency. I know there were times when it was just a wing and a prayer. It's like we're making this stuff up. But that kind of clarity and that focus and understanding that not only are we empowering business owners now to actually step up and make decisions for themselves, to be able to come into an agency or a business and actually say with such clarity, no, actually, this is my customer, this is my brand persona, these are the color schemes, these are kind of the designs that we're looking for. We need help making this real. And then for you guys to actually be able to go, right, this is we can implement and make this real for you. I would have thought as a professional in the industry, that's something we should see more of, because it's empowering on both levels. It makes your job a hell of a lot easier as an agency, a marketing agency. And from the customer point of view, it's such empowerment for these female entrepreneurs to actually go, I know my business.
Absolutely.
My brand.
Absolutely. And then they're delegating what they do instead of abdicating it onto someone else who doesn't know their business very well. And it's very satisfying to see them succeed.
Yeah, fantastic. So let's get back to yourself then. So clarity was a very, very big part of the program for you at every single level, learning and doing and implementing, and not just, as I said, not just that flat learning and then being left alone to try and do something. So you were saying about sort of like you learned about sort of funnels, the different funnel techniques that are available now, the advertising, tell us a little bit about that.
We do a lot of Facebook advertising ourselves within the agency, so it's always nice to learn new techniques that are coming out and trends that are happening in the industry. And I felt like we learned an awful lot from you, talking about split testing and trying different advertising techniques and different images and different copywriting. So the whole funnel exercise itself was the crux of the program, really, and it was absolutely fascinating. It was such an eye-opener.
Yeah. And so, and also this is about kind of reaching more of a market, isn't it? I mean, for you as an agency, the traditional agency model is very much a case of, you know, you're in one place, you've got the bricks and mortar business, you do the networking, and it's very old school, if I may say so, because
And it's geographically driven as well.
yeah,
Sort of like an hour maximum drive from the agency, I would say, yes.
yeah. And so this is all about actually working smarter, not harder now. It's actually, there are so many new techniques available to agencies now. I mean, good God, I wish that I'd known this stuff like 20 odd years ago. It would have, I mean, obviously the internet didn't really exist back then, you know, it was like, but the thing is that from a point of view of actually taking an agency, a traditional agency now, and actually elevating it to a level where you could reach potentially anyone in the UK,
absolutely,
from wherever you're based. In fact, that's not the limiter, because you could go worldwide with your services, the way that we've been able to teach you this technique of actually expanding your markets. Yeah,
absolutely, yes, yeah. I think the moment of realization just how successful it is when we started getting streams of calls from people who were like an art gallery in London, you know, and of course thinking back, you would think, oh well, if I work with someone in London, I must have an office in London. Well,
yeah.
not the case, not the case.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're busting the myths now that to have an agency that you have to have that kind of solid, and you can only geographically kind of target what's around you. And we just bust that completely by saying, you don't do that anymore, folks. We can open up the whole world for you in terms of traffic coming to you on a regular basis. So tell us about like the traditional ways of actually getting business as an agency, that, you know, the networking and all of that. Well, what was that like for you, knowing that you just had to do that originally and not know how to do that?
I think when you start out, and it's just, I mean, it's the same story for everyone. You start out, it's you in the kitchen, you've got the computer and your slippers on, and you start your business.
Yeah.
And then you're out the front door into the wide world thinking, what do I do now? So of course you immediately join a networking group, and you get kind of sucked into that a little bit, especially if it's one that you go to, you know, regularly. You want to keep that momentum going. It's quite time consuming, and like you said, thinking smarter, not harder. When you put them side by side and you compare the two, there's no comparison.
Yeah, absolutely. And it doesn't mean to say you can't do networking. It's just that you can choose.
Not the be all and end all of what you do. Yeah, it's not the sole source of leads for you.
And so we had that, and then of course a new way of selling, serving rather than selling. So I mean, from your point of view about how to talk to customers and how to actually position yourselves as the almost the doctors in your industry for advice and guidance and advocacy. How did that go down? Because that's very, very different way of teaching than the traditional way.
It is. I do feel, because with being a consultant as well, working with customers, it's very much a consultative kind of conversation that I have with them. But it was very enlightening, especially you know, the programs that you've got within your program about not selling and to serve to people. You know, it's absolutely bang on. If you go to a networking meeting and someone is immediately by your side and they're trying to sell you something, you just want to get away as soon as you can, and then you avoid them for the rest of the time there. You know, there's nothing worse than that. So yes, it was very enlightening.
Yeah, I mean, and also within the program we do like a lot of mindset work, don't we? And
brilliant. Mindset stuff is fabulous.
Yeah, and that's not, traditionally that's not something that you would naturally sit comfortably in business. It's kind of like, you know, I don't know about you, but for many years ago, that was kind of a very kind of powerful divide. It was like the kind of the spiritual stuff on one side and the business stuff on the other, and there was no way that they would ever cross. Nowadays, what we're actually finding is the top entrepreneurs on the planet are all coming out now and admitting, yeah, actually we do like daily mindset kind of routines and keep our minds and our vibrations kind of higher, and that's where their success comes from. And it makes you so more resilient as an agency owner to actually have that toolkit of mind stuff that you can keep yourself buoyant, because it is tough in business. Whether it's an agency or a small business, it can be tough at times. And so having that resilience is just very, very powerful. And that's why we make it an essential going through any of our programs. Is you got to do the mindset stuff that we suggest, because this is going to improve and make your journey easier for you. Yeah?
Absolutely, absolutely. As soon as you start doing the mindset work, two things crop up. One, you think, why didn't I start doing this sooner? Because not just on a business level, but, you know, it makes you feel better yourself. You know, you kind of your own well-being. When you're in a better place, you can run your business better.
Yeah.
And the second thing is you think, I will never be without this. Because once you start getting into the pattern of the mindset, it works, it makes you feel good, you can run your business better, you've got a lot more clarity when you do the mindset stuff. So it's something that you wouldn't want to be without from then on.
So Sarah, in summary, what would you say about the programme? If there's any agency owners out there at the moment sitting there, female, and this is important to say actually, is that we're empowering female entrepreneurs. So this is for any female entrepreneur out there that is running an agency and wants more growth and wants more. So what's the message that you would give to them, Sarah?
I would say absolutely do it without hesitation. Don't even think, just do it. Because once you come out of the end of it, you have learned so much, you're armed with so many more skills than you had before. The mindset work alone is you know, a good enough reason to do it, aside from all of the exciting new leads that you can bring in at the end of it. So don't think, just do it.
So I wish you all the very best, Sarah. I know that your agency and you as a person are going to go from strength to strength now. You've demonstrated within this program your determination and grit. That's one of the criteria of we don't let everybody into this program. This is not a free-for-all. We have an application process. We need to make sure that the people who are coming into the programs are the right mindset of person, that they're keen, they're hungry for it, they want growth.
Yes.
You showed all of that, kind of the grit, the determination, the coachability, that you showed up as a decisive action taker, and you're highly resourceful, Sarah. So those skills alone are going to actually, I know, are going to sort of take you forward now into 2019 and beyond.
Exciting. Yeah.
Very, very exciting stuff. So well done. Congratulations. And I wish you all the very best in the future, because I know you.
Thank you, Heather. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.